The DCU just gave us a ton of new characters to chew on with the new release of Superman, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and goddamn Mr. Terrific. But we want more. We want... So which Batman characters will appear in the DCU? Hi, I'm Eddie C, and today I've put together a list of confirmed Batman characters and characters with a high chance of appearing. So fasten your utility belt and let us glide our way into the streets of Gotham with the confirmed characters. First, right off the bat, Batman. Pun intended. It's called Batman for a reason. Of course he'll be in it. David Zaslav recently made a comment that the 4 pillars of the DCU will be Superman, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and you guessed it, the freaking man! The second character confirmed is Robin, but it's the 4th one? Damian Wayne, the biological son of Bruce Wayne, was born into the League of Assassins with Talia al Ghul as a mother. Damian was raised to be a killer since he drew his first breath. When Damian was 10 years old, Talia gave Bruce custody of him in order to try and disrupt Batman's work, but it didn't really work though, as Damian kind of became Robin. Now, this next one is an interesting one. The body horror character, Clayface, is actually confirmed to make an appearance in the DCU, even before Batman. James Gunn has announced a solo Clayface movie that is intended to be the 3rd movie in the DCU. This character aligns well with the chapter's title of Gods and Monsters, as the Clayface film will be a body horror, focused on Matt Hagen's change into the monster Clayface. But before we go any further, let's take a look at who it's not. James Gunn stated that they won't be using villains used in Matt Reeves' The Batman trilogy. The DCU will be using more fantastical villains, while the Batman will use more grounded villains. So unfortunately, we may have to rule out the Riddler from appearing. But if he does appear, I'm right here, James Gunn. Every video of mine is basically an audition for the Riddler. Please, I took stage goal for 2 years. I'm literally perfect. Look, here's some headshots of me. This is the rhythm of the night. I don't think Catwoman, the Penguin, and Falcone will appear either, as they were both very prominent in the Batman. In terms of characters that might not appear due to being saved for the Batman, I think characters like Hush, Professor Pig, and the Court of Owls will be saved for future The Batman films. Now we can get characters that are assumed to be appearing based on the already announced characters. Since this story will be focused on Batman and Damian Wayne's father-son relationship, it would make sense for Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul to make an appearance. After all, they raised a little scamp in the League of Assassins. I don't think they will be the main villains, as we've already had an opening film to a Batman franchise be about Ra's al Ghul. With the vibe the DCU has already established, it feels like another villain may be better suited to the main role. With Damian Wayne becoming Robin in this film, it's safe to say Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake have all been Robin and left Batman, becoming Nightwing and Red Robin. I feel like Jason might not be Red Hood yet, and could be something alluded to with the Ra's al Ghul plotline, as it was actually Ra's who brought Jason back to life using the Lazarus Pit. All 3 Robins may not actually appear, but should at least get reference in the Brave and the Bold film. Using the same logic, we can assume Barbara Gordon as Batgirl is established in the universe, which also means we can assume that Commissioner Gordon is here too. Whether Barbara will be Batgirl or Oracle is uncertain. It depends whether the Joker is in the universe, which we'll have to take a look at soon. The next character is a powerful one, a badass who knocked out Superman, Alfred Pennyworth. It's a Batman film, so of course we're going to have his trusted butler alongside him. In interviews with Superman, James Gunn has expressed interest in Batmite.
I gotta do something with Batmite someday.
Obviously, this seems like a joke, but I feel like it will be so James Gunn to put a character like Batmite in this universe. I'd say he's got about a 50% chance of appearing. Poison Ivy is a character that has been portrayed in the past, just not to the best of what Poison Ivy can be. An example of an amazing adaptation of Poison Ivy is her in the Arkham games. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but she gets a whole load of focus in Arkham Knight, so it'll be nice to see her appear in the DCU, most likely not until later down the line. A character I would love to appear is Mr. Freeze. He is my favourite Batman villain. Second favorite. Like Poison Ivy, he's been done in live action before, but the movie flopped, and he's been put on ice ever since. If you didn't laugh at that, you must be one cold son of a bitch. Mr. Freeze is a beautiful character with beautiful powers that are just itching to have a proper dramatic story told in the movies. His character was actually majorly developed in Batman the Animated Series, whereas before he was just a small-time crook who got ice powers. I would love to do a whole video on Mr. Freeze, so let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see that. James Gunn, put Mr. Freeze in the DCU, and my life is yours. Scarecrow was played by Cillian Murphy in the Nolan trilogy, but come on, we can get way more fantastical than that. I don't want just a bag over his head, I want him to look like a damn scarecrow. Back to the Arkham games, we can see the potential of Scarecrow in live action. He's very fantastical and deserves to be a main villain. We could have a scene similar to the Mysterio illusion in Far From Home. An interesting villain that could be adapted would be the Mad Hatter. My favourite version of this character is the one from the TV show Gotham, who is played by Benedict Samuel. In recent years, the Mad Hatter has been depicted as a PDF file, mainly to give people more reasons to hate him. I don't like when writers do this. Batman's villains are the best when Batman can relate to them. They have clear motivations and goals and have a reason for not being killed, all except one of course. Wait, I just remembered the Gotham TV show version did unspeakable things to his sister. Oh, for God's sake! I think the Mad Hatter could do well as a side villain. Maybe a villain for the opening of the film, introducing Batman and Robin as they take him down. I have this gut feeling that they won't do Two-Face. I feel he's more suited to the Reeves verse, but even then I'm not sure if they'll use him. He's been portrayed in the movies by 3 different actors. Fun fact, Billy D. Williams originally played Harvey Dent in Batman 89, but was eventually recast to be Tommy Lee Jones. I really wish we could have seen Billy's portrayal of Two-Face. Killer Moth. Oh, he's so gotta appear. It just fits the DCU's vibe so well. He could be played off so well. I don't care if he's used as a joke. 8-year-old me who grew up fighting him in Lego Batman would love to see him in action. It would be so interesting if he was done as a serious villain. Like, the idea of an anti-Batman would be so cool. Plotline that will be a bit dark to follow is if Batman and Damian's relationship is struggling at first, as Damian struggles with Batman's no-kill rule. Damian could actually end up killing a villain like Killer Moth, especially since Killer Moth's persona is similar to Batman's. It could have a deep meaning on Damian's view of Batman. Bane! Bane, Bane, Baney Wayne! The Bane of Batman's spinal cord. He's definitely got to appear down the line. Maybe in a 3rd film? Tom Hardy's version was pretty good. It's got the smarts and the strengths down. I just want him bigger. Bigger? Bigger! Too big, too big, too big! Harley Quinn has been done so many times recently. Margot Robbie, Lady Gaga, The Harley Quinn Show, Suicide Squad game, all done within the last 4 years. I do love her character, but I think it's time for someone new to step into the limelight. Poison Ivy. Now it's the point of the video that you've all been waiting for. The Clown Prince of Crime, the Joker. Will he appear? They're gonna have to put him in, aren't they? I do believe you can do a whole Batman trilogy without the Joker making any appearance, but with his notoriety he's destined to appear. Like in so many Batman projects before, DC just can't leave this guy alone. Now it's time for the section of the video that I feel really confident on. Here are the 4 villains that I feel confident will have a high chance to appear in Batman the Brave and the Bold. This chapter of the DCU is called Gods and Monsters. Batman doesn't have that many godly related villains, but I'll tell you what he does have a bunch of: monsters. The main plot of the film is Batman and Damian adapting to working to each other and building their father-son relationship. But each film's gotta have a villain, right? During the time that Batman and Damian are adapting to each other, I believe there'll be multiple monsters on the loose that we'll have to take down together. The first of which I believe will be Solomon Grundy. With no appearances on the big screen, Solomon Grundy is owed a proper adaptation. Cyrus Gold was a 19th century merchant who was murdered and dumped into a swamp. He is then reanimated years later to become the monster Solomon Grundy. This story has so much potential, and my boy Grundy gotta be done right. We can show the humanity of Batman as he tames Solomon, just like in The Long Halloween, where Batman gives Solomon a turkey to eat for Thanksgiving, because he is human too. Next up, Man-Bat, Batman, Man of Bats, Man-Bat. Man-Bat is perfect for the Gods and Monsters chapter, as he is the definition of a monster. Dude is scary as hell. This scared the shit out of me each time it happened in Arkham Knight. Kirk Langstrom, a deaf scientist obsessed with the biology of bats, tried to create a serum to harness the sonar capabilities of bats, but the experiment went tragically wrong. Langstrom was turned into a massive man-sized bat with animalistic instincts, and even in some adaptations killed his wife during his transformation. Man-Bat would add a great horror element to the film. It's time for my favourite monster, Killer Croc. Not whatever this thing is in Suicide Squad. I want a massive crocodile. More! More! Too massive again! Too massive again! I actually really like the absolute Batman designs. Killer Croc has always stood out to me ever since I played Lego Batman when I was a wee nipper. Waylon Jones didn't fall into a vat of chemicals and whatnot. He was born this way. He was born with an extreme version of the medical condition epidermolytic hyperkeratosis, who was bullied all throughout his childhood, being called Lizard Boy, Reptilian Freak. His body kept changing more and more like a crocodile as he grew up, until eventually he killed his aunt, who was an abusive alcoholic. Croc would be perfect for this trio of monsters in the film, as every single one of them has human aspects, and you can see in their origins why they are the way they are. Batman could rehabilitate them and try and give them the most normal lives he can. Now, who could possibly set all these monsters loose? Hugo Strange. Strange is a man who was obsessed with finding out Batman's identity and was actually one of the first people to do it. He could create all these monsters and try and set them free to try and wear Batman down until he can finally take off that cowl and see who is under there. Strange's origin is shrouded in mystery, so there's a lot to play with there. Hugo Strange was one of the main villains Batman fought, so it'd be fitting for him to be the first villain he faces off against in the DCU. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and let me know in the comments who you think will be appearing in the DCU's Batman the Brave and the Bold. And let me know what you think about my speculations. As always, I hope you have an amazing day, and feel free to like and subscribe. Wait, no, don't end the video yet! James Gunn, let me in! Make me the DCU's Riddler! Hashtag EddieC for the DCU. Even an EddieC cameo, please, it'll be perfect. The people want it, the people want it!